Are you spending more time on your computer or texting on your phone and now you have neck pain? Don't you worry, I've got the solution for you. Momentum aims to help as many people in the world as possible, from weight loss, exercises, and also injuries. So help us with our mission and like this video. We want to do the best that we can to provide the best and up-to-date exercise and injury prevention methods to everyone. So like I've said, you spent more and more time using your handhelds and maybe on your computer, and now your neck hurts. It's no surprise. The posture that we call this is the old tech neck or text neck, or even back in the day, nerd neck. You see a forward posture with the neck and you cause a lot of pain in that area as well. Now don't quote me on this, but up to 30 degrees extra on the neck can actually add up to 30 pounds of extra weight on your neck too. So that's about 15 kilos sitting on top of your head. So what we want to do is make sure we can teach you how to prevent this and give you the solutions to help you long term. The first thing we need to understand is, why does it happen? And there's two reasons why. The first thing is you have tight muscles at the front and you also have weak muscles at the back. And we need to teach you how to look after this. As simple as this, we've got a 3-step procedure that can help you fix this problem and something for you to maintain for as long as possible to prevent it from becoming any worse. So our 3-step method is very easy and it works 100% of the time. I don't want to say that. A solution is easy and it comes in 3 steps. The first step is to stretch, and we're going to show you all the stretches that you need to do. The second thing is manage. You need to manage your load and how much you expose yourself to this prolonged posture. Number 3 is about planning and actually strengthening. This is always the end stage when it comes to any injury or any medical condition that needs improving. You need to make sure you plan and prolong. Step number 1, like I said, is all about the stretches. When it comes to something like this, we actually call this upper cross syndrome. And we have tight muscles in the chest, the upper trap, and also the neck areas. So I'm going to show you 3 stretches. The first stretch is the chest stretch. We want to make sure we bring our hands behind our back and our chest up. At the same time, we also want to bring the shoulders down. I always like to use the cue, pinching your pennies. This is going to help you stretch the chest muscles that are always so tight because of your prolonged posture, with your shoulders always kind of cave in on itself. The next stretch I'm going to show you is the upper trap stretch. This is very similar to the chest stretch, except you're going to bring your hands to the forward position instead. You can kind of call this like hugging a tree motion, or the tree hug. You can do all these stretches at your desk and it's very simple for you to do. When you do this one, same thing again, shoulders depressed or down, and try and pinch the pennies so you can get that upper trap to stretch. Now, the last stretch is for the neck. This one here, what you want to do is put your ear towards your shoulder and pull very gently towards that side with your other hand. Don't go too hard and don't force it. You need to make sure you're doing just the right amount. Now, stretches, they are great. They will loosen up the muscles, but long term, they won't help you all the way through. That's where the strengthening process comes in. But it does give you temporary relief for the meantime. Step number 2 comes into reducing your load. Now, your load here is nothing like lifting weights, but is exposure to what you're doing. So if you're working, unfortunately, this can be quite a hard task for yourself. But if you're spending more time on the computer outside of work, when you already spend so much time on the computer, that's where you need to control. Controlling the amount that you expose yourself to the computer or even to any other handheld devices is very important. So that's one thing to look into. Now, if you're unfortunate enough to spend 8 to 10 hours in front of a computer for work, you need to then time regular rest periods. And a good one is always to make sure you stretch maybe 10 minutes every hour, or have a 5-minute rest to walk around and rest your neck as you go ahead. Now, the last part is all about exercises. Now, before I get into the exercises, there are so many exercises that you can do to help you out with this, and some of them are done correctly in theory, but practically when you're doing that, you kind of look a little bit silly. So let me know, do you know any exercises that you have seen or done or been given that looked a little bit silly and was very hard to do? For me, I always think that it's always the banded neck tuck, but I'm going to show you a different solution. Now, the exercises I'm going to give you today are not difficult, and exercises aren't difficult. If you can't do them, it's because you failed to prepare yourself. So I'm going to show you the exercises, and I'm going to show you how you can implement a plan to help you. So now I'm going to show you some exercises that will help you out. The first one, like I mentioned before, is the chin tuck. You can do this with a band, but in theory it's a bit silly. When you do the chin tuck, all you have to do really is try and force like a double neck. And there's two ways that you can do this. I prefer the way using the wall or a chair, but you can also doing this lying down. Now remember, when you're doing this, you're not trying to get your eyes to look downwards, but what you're trying to do is actually force the double chin and push it backwards. Hold this for at least 20 seconds and repeat 3 times. Like I mentioned about the upper cross syndrome, we also need to strengthen the lower traps. So what we're going to do is a T raise with a hold, focusing on pinching the pennies, which I'll show you, and also the lower traps being used. Now that we've targeted the lower traps, we're going to focus on the bigger muscles in the back. So the row is a good exercise to do this. It builds the traps, lats, and also the rhomboids, helping you get an upright posture. When it comes to the row, there are several ways that you can do this. I don't have any machines in my gym, so I'm going to show you how you can do this with a dumbbell. But if you do have the seated row machine at your gym, it's a very easy exercise to conduct, and I'm going to show you how you can do this. When you do this exercise, make sure you keep the elbows nice and close towards your shirt and control on the way up, as well to the elbow being straight. Focusing on pinching the pennies and squeezing and actually working the muscle. Now if you're still getting this forward neck motion, another muscle that's not very strong that needs strengthening is a serratus, and this is probably one of the hardest exercises and hardest muscles to activate. To strengthen serratus, what we're going to do is a push-up plus, or a serratus push-up. You can do this on your knees if you don't have the strength, or you can do these on the toes as well. And really all it is pushing away from the floor in the last few degrees. Hold the top for about 2 seconds, slowly back down, and back up again. Do this for about 15 reps. So there you are. You have the solution to help you with your text neck and your forward neck. But what are you going to do about it? It's very simple. You have to keep with it. It might take you 3 weeks, it might take you 4 weeks, it might take you 6 weeks, but at least your foundations are strong. If you have a friend or anyone else who experiences neck pain because of too much time on the computer, send them this video right now. They need to know what to do so that they can prevent it from becoming worse. Not only that, you're helping us out. Thanks again. Click subscribe if you want to watch the next video on Wednesday.